there, Lady Titi, and all the women who are involved in actually setting this up. What a fantastic platform to be on. So I'll just, in the way of introduction, I'll just introduce myself a little bit more. So as Lady Titi has said, my name is Ethyl. I am a psychotherapist, and I'm also a mental health nurse. I've been working in mental health for over 20 years now. And I love what I do. I love to empower people in the mind. And I know that everything starts in the mind. And I can't believe that Pastor Ann was just talking there about the very thing about the mind. It's like we sat down and discussed this. When she was talking, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, did she see my notes or did she do something, you know? But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. But also, I'm the founder of He Matters, and He Matters is an organization that addresses mental health issues for Black African men, and then we're going to be expanding that to men generally. The reason is because there's so many of our men who are ending their lives, committing suicides, our sons, you know, as well. So we need to do something about it. So we're championing that, but that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. I'm here to talk to you about us ladies. And thank you once again so much for inviting me. Now, our theme for Women International Day is choose to challenge. And you know, we as women, we need to take that stand and actually choose to challenge the status quo, challenge ourselves to be better. And today, as every time I'm asked to speak, I speak on so many different platforms, but every time I'm asked to speak, I always go before God and I say, God, what is the message for this group? Because I don't know the audience. I don't know who's going to come. But if one person who comes and leaves having been changed or transformed, then I will have fulfilled what I would have been asked to do. So I was praying, and I'm talking about prayer because prayer is the foundation of every single thing that I do. I don't move until God says. Even if it looks good, it looks appetizing, it looks glorious, I don't go unless God says go. So I'm just saying that so that you know how I live my life and the things that guide me as a woman. So as I was speaking to God and said, God, where do I go from here? What do I talk about? God gave me this, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about. I'm going to talk to you about the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence. So when Pastor Ann started to talk about 6 pillars, I thought she was going to say 6 pillars of emotional intelligence, but she talked about, you know, 6 pillars of confidence, and wow, so powerful. Thank you so much, Pastor Ann. You know, I was taking notes myself as you were talking, but here we go. I've got so much as always to share with you, and usually I like to really make sure that I've covered everything. Most of what I'm going to talk about, Pastor Anna has already made mention to it or touched on it, but I want to go a bit deeper with each one of the things I'm going to be talking to you about. So emotional intelligence, why are we talking about it? We're talking about it because everything we do in life really starts with the way that what is going on inside of us. So our internal system governs the things that we do externally. It governs how people perceive us. It's governed how we respond to the things of life. So if things are not right in terms of our emotions and in terms of our mind, then we're going to respond in ways that are detrimental to ourselves and also detrimental to those who are around us. Relationships will begin to fall down, and things around us will begin to crumble if emotionally we are not resilient. So today I'm going to give you the techniques and the nuggets that are going to help you to be emotionally resilient through emotional intelligence. And the things I'm also going to talk to you about are things that cut across all walks of life. So you might be a lone parent. I'm a lone parent. I've been a lone parent for 15 years. And in those 15 years, God has taught me a lot. And I've learned a lot about myself too, which I'm going to touch on as well today. It's for the married woman. It's for the career woman. It's for the business woman. Every woman in any walk of life, the widow, you know, every woman, you are going to find emotional intelligence has got to be the pillar of every single thing that you do. And one of the reasons why it's important for us to be emotionally aware and emotionally intelligent is because as women, we need to be the highest expression of ourselves. You were created so uniquely. There's no one like you on this planet. But to be the highest expression of yourself, you need to have that emotional intelligence. And again, I like what Pastor Ann said. She talked about forgiveness. I'm going to touch on that, but in a little bit of a different way, from a different angle, but absolutely important. She hit all the nails on the head there. So here we go. The first thing that we need to understand, ladies, is we need to be self-aware. What does it mean to be self-aware? So it's a word that is thrown around everywhere, here, then, everywhere. What does it actually mean to be self-aware? To be self-aware means that you need to understand your own thoughts. You need to understand your own belief system. You need to understand what moves you to do the things you do. You need to be connected with your emotions. So when you're feeling sad, you need to think about what's the thought that's behind that sadness. Is it because that, lady so-and-so said they would call me, they didn't call me, but they called other people and they didn't call me, so therefore I am sad. You need to understand that. How is your sadness linked to someone not calling you back? How about if you changed it to they didn't call me back because maybe they got busy or maybe something else came up, and them not calling me back doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me or that they don't like me as a person. So there's something about us understanding our own emotions, understanding what drives our thoughts, understand what drives our beliefs. Once we become more self-aware, we are well on our way to actually becoming that emotionally resilient. Now, one angle that I want to touch on is the things that shape our beliefs and shape our thoughts and shape the way we do things are usually things that have happened to us in the past. I'll give you a very quick example. If a child grows up and they are being told by their teacher, you're not good enough, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, they're going to grow up with that belief that they're not good enough. And therefore, in education, they're not going to really apply themselves in education because they're holding on to the belief. And that belief becomes entrenched and strengthens and strengthens and strengthens. They grow up into adulthood. They don't even pursue education, despite them having so much potential. But because somebody told them they're not good enough when they were 5, they've carried that belief to adulthood. Go to school. No. I'd rather not go to school. I'd rather just do little piece jobs, I'll just do piece. No, but if you go to school, I can see your potential. I can see you can actually, go and have a professional job. You can have a career. Okay, start a business. Oh, no. Business is not for me. Oh, no. Because why? Because you're still attached to that past. You're still attached to what was spoken to you. That's the thoughts you perceive about yourself. Now, for us to be women who are going to express, live with that in the highest expression of ourselves, we need to release ourselves from those thoughts. We need to release ourselves from the past. We need to release ourselves from those spoken words, because those words are not who you are. That was someone's perception of you, but that's not who your maker's perception of you is. You are created uniquely to empower and make an impact in this universe. Therefore, we need to get to that place where we are undoing those past hurts. So those are spoken words. And then some of us women, we've got things that were done to us. And a lot of women that I speak to, because as you heard, I'm also a psychotherapist. So I speak to women who've maybe been sexually abused in the past. And they were abused. It's not because, when a person experiences abuse, it's not because nobody brings abuse to themselves, but it's the abuser who's done it to you. And because they've done it to you, some women don't even talk about it, or some women are moving with that emotional scar. It's an emotional wound. Some women talk about it and they say, oh my goodness, as a result, I'll never allow any man near me. As a result, I'll never get into any relationship. As a result, I'll never do this. As a result, I now am married. I've got a daughter who's the same age. These are what women say. Now you're sitting and you're thinking, well, I've got a daughter. I was sexually abused at the age of 10. Now my daughter's 10. Oh my goodness, I have to safeguard my daughter. What does that woman start doing? They start saying, don't wear this, don't go there, don't do this. They are overprotective of that child. And when that child wants to go out and play with their friends, oh, no, 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 don't go. When the child wants to go to school, I'll drive you to school. They want to go to anywhere, I'll drive you. I'm there, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there. You don't allow the child to develop. You don't allow the child to express themselves. Why? Because you're thinking what happened to you as a woman is going to happen to your child. I'm giving you these analogies so that you picture how those past wounds can influence your life today, women. So that's why I'm positioning that to you. So we absolutely need to address the past issues. I'm going to tell you and show you how as we walk through this journey. Also, because with regards to oh my God, my time is, with regards to self-awareness, you know, things, life throws us so many different things. And have you ever come to a situation, life has thrown you something, you fly off the handle, you just go angry, you go berserk, you go ballistic. Maybe your child said that they'll come home at 4 o'clock and they come home at 4:15 and you are shouting and you are and you are telling them that, oh my God, there's all sorts happening out there. There's so, you know, all sorts, you're giving a child this almighty lecture. Flying off the handle. It's not because of the situation, because coming home at 4:15 and 4 o'clock, it's not a big deal. It's because of your own unresolved issues, wounds, which you are living with and carrying with you. So there's something about being self-aware and knowing why and what drives my emotions and what drives me to do what I do. That was number one. Number two, self-regulation. We need to be able to know how to respond when we're in a situation. Being emotionally intelligent is so pivotal, ladies, in our relationships, even at work. If you don't know how to regulate your emotions, you will always be here, then everywhere. You'll be like this, zigzagging all the time. Why? Because we live in a world that is constantly challenging us as women, constantly challenging us mentally, behaviorally, in all sorts of ways. But you need to know how to regulate your emotions. How do I channel my energy? Oh, that sister said, oh, you know, they commented really badly about something about me. And then I told them, I had to tell them in that meeting, and I told them, and I said, don't you dare, and I said this, and I said that. And then you fly off the handle again. And then when you finish, the meeting finishes, you're the one who's feeling guilty. You're the one who's feeling bad because you're thinking, oh my God, what do they think about me now? What are they saying about me? Oh my goodness, the pastor was there, the bishop was there. Oh, I was in a meeting at work. Oh, it was in front of my chief exec. And then I said it. Now you're the one who's eating yourself at home because you were unable to regulate your emotion. I always say to people, there needs to be a time, there needs to be a place, and there needs to be a channel. You need to think about, how do I respond? So when somebody does something that provokes your anger, it doesn't mean that you have to respond and react straight away. You can think about the timing. When is the right time for me to respond? Is it now, or can I sit back and respond later when I've calmed down? What is the platform to respond to this person? Do I call them? Do I email them? Do I arrange to meet with them? Those are all the things that you have to think about in terms of regulating your emotions. There's some things you need to respond there and there, but there are some things that you need to hold back and say, right, let me just take a step back. And if you find that you can't in that moment because your anger is so high, you can just start to count backwards in your head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why are you doing that? You're just calming yourself down. And then you're saying to that person, you know what? I'll come back to you with a response. You don't need to respond there and there. I'll come back to you with a response. So then when you come back to the response, it's balanced. You're not saying something that you're going to regret. So many women have responded to their husbands and they've regretted it for the rest of their lives because they've spoken things. And you know, words you cannot take back. You cannot take back words. And when you say it, you've spoken it, it's pierced that person and you cannot take it back. No amount of sorry that person would need to really be in a position to forgive, and you to forgive yourself, and to also that person to be forgiven. So self-regulation is really, really important. So one of the things that is going to help you to self-regulate is now start to learn how to channel your emotions, start to learn how to channel your energy, channel your emotions. So things like exercises is going to be very helpful to learn to channel so that you're not in a high state of stress. Like I'm talking to you now, but I went jogging this morning and I was out jogging for 2 hours. because I jog, because that's my thinking time, my thinking space. So I went out for 2 hours. I was out from 10 till 12 o'clock. I came back. Why? Because that is the thing that helps me, because I'm also studying. It helps me in kind of remaining relaxed and also emotionally in a good place. The other thing is, as you're regulating your emotions, you are choosing your battles. We've got to know that there are battles we fight, there are battles we just put to one side. Ladies, there are battles you fight and ones you just put to one side. But you have to know which one to fight. It's not every battle that comes your way, everything that's kind of landed in front of you that you think, I'm going to go and I'm going to deal with it. No, you don't have to. You can just put it to one side and deal with the important things. Yeah, ladies. So the other thing is, avoid situations that trigger you. If you know that there are situations that are going to trigger you and are going to make you always be in that state of anger, for example, toxic relationships. Remember, I said to you, life throws us all sorts of things. We've got no control over it. If you know that there's certain relationships which are toxic for you, let me just take a pause and just go to us single ladies. If you know that a brother is toxic for you, or you're in a relationship that is toxic for you, for goodness sake, why are you there? Why are you staying in it? You need to, if you know that there's an environment or people that are not contributing or edifying you, you know those people. Why are you there? Can God give you the gift to walk away and move on? There's some people are there for a season, but not there for a lifetime. Not everyone is there in your life for a lifetime. So it's about some things you need to move on. You need to close doors and move on. Closing a door and moving on doesn't mean I don't like that person. It doesn't mean I hate that person. It just means their part is over. Now I'm moving on to other things and other connections. So I can't stay there for too long because of my time. The next one is empathy. Now, empathy. What is empathy? Simply sitting in somebody else's shoes. When someone comes to you and tells you whatever they're going through or tells you a problem, it's being able to sit in their shoe and understand it from their perspective. Sometimes it's not about you giving 1001 solutions and saying, right, me, the way I would respond to it is I'll do this and do that and do that. Sometimes it's just about listening. You need to just listen to and empathize with that person. And also, tagged along that is when a person is telling you a problem or telling you an issue, sometimes we're very quick to tell them what the expectation is. Like, oh, you know, I expect these are the expectations that I would have on that person. Why did they do it to you? You should set expectations on others. No, you need to set expectations for yourself. But everybody lives their own unique life and they set their own expectations. When we pin expectations on others, we are setting ourselves to always fail because people always let us down. The expectation you need to pin is an expectation on yourself. Yes. You understand? An expectation on yourself. The reason why I'm saying this is when we set expectations on others, we're saying, you are my friend, so I expect you to be calling me once every week. You are my husband, so I expect you to be buying me flowers once every week. You are my child, I expect you to be cleaning. This thing of expectation, I expect you to be cleaning the house and doing this and doing that. Or for our children, obviously, we have to coach them and we have to help them in terms of as they develop, as they grow. But when we pin expectations, an expectation is really, you have to do this because if you don't, it means you don't qualify to be this in my life. When we set expectations on our husbands, as an example, when we say, oh, you need to buy me flowers because somebody else, you know, the other man who's his friend buys flowers for his wife once every week, he needs to buy me flowers. He needs to love me the way that my friend's husband loves her. But your husband is your husband. He loves you in another way, in a different way, in the way that he knows how to love you. When you set expectations, it means that we're always in a place of disappointment. But we need to empathize. My husband is not buying me flowers every once in a week because he's saving up for his education. He's trying to provide for the family. He's trying to, you know, make sure that our upkeep, we are comfortable in our upkeep. Just because the man, my friend's husband is doing it, do you know their pocket? Do you know their financial situation? No, you don't. But do you also know what they operate and what they do in their life? No, you don't. But here you are setting expectations in your own home based on other people's way of living. So there's time for us to come back and really think about that friend that I'm setting expectations on. Is this realistic? Are these realistic expectations? So there's something about freeing a person to be who they are. I always say to people that within, when you're in a relationship, for example, I know this is not a relationship seminar, I'm just want to touch on that a little bit. When you're in a relationship, you need to free the person you're in a relationship in to be their authentic self, because you want to be freed to be the highest expression of who you are. So you need to free your son, you need to free your children, you need to free them to be the highest expectation of who they are. If they're into whatever subjects they're into studying, free them to do that, free them to pursue that. I've got a daughter, she's very creative, she's into fashion and she's into art. I support her to be that. I don't say, no, you need to be a lawyer. No, you need to be a doctor. I support her to do what she wants to do. She wants to have a big desk where she can do a drawing and a painting. Yes, let's go and choose one and you do that because that's what you love to do. My other son is into football. Yes, I'll drive you to the football. I'll go on the sideline and cheer you on while you're doing football when lockdown comes off, because I want you to be the highest expression of who you are. He likes to exercise. I go exercising with him. The other one is into property, he's 20, he's into I am supporting them to be who they are. I'm not conforming them into who I think they should be. Why? When we conform people in who we expect them to be, that's when we will always be on the back foot and they will always let us down. So this is where the release, you need to release people. That's where the forgiveness bit comes in. You need to release the people that you set expectations on. The people that you said, you're not loving me the way that I want you to love me. Those are the people, you need to release them and you need to ask them for forgiveness. They need to forgive you. There's no way that you're going to move on and make an impact in this world and make an impact as a woman, make an impact in your platform, on global platforms where we want to go. You will not make an impact until you release people who you are holding to and who you have set expectations on. So you need to release people. You need to release them and you need to empathize rather than always be judging and thinking they need to be a certain way or do things a certain way. So what does releasing them look like? Releasing somebody is really, which is the same way as we talk about forgiveness. But here's one way that a person can do it. So it's really about, one, when you realize that you've been judging someone for not being the way you want them to be. Here's the conversation. And some of it goes back to our parents. Some of it goes back to relationships we've had in the past, which maybe have broken down. Some of it goes back to friendships which have broken down because we expected them to be a certain way. So here's the conversation, how it would go. I realize I've been judging you for not loving me the way that I thought you should love me. So I realize I have been judging you for not loving me the way I thought that you should love me. I haven't considered how you feel and what you have been going through. You see, we never stop to consider, what is that person going through? What is my husband going through? What is my son going through? What is my daughter going through? We're always thinking about us and what we expect. Then it goes on. I have been thinking about me all along. So I haven't been considering how you feel and what you have been going through in life. I have been thinking about me. I now want to make peace with you. I want to recreate something new with you. I love you. That is the conversation to have with that person. That I realize, my daughter, my son, I've been wanting you to be what I want you to be, but not who your creator wants you to be. For this reason, I have been limiting you. I have been putting you in a cage. For this reason, I've been expecting you to be loving me, doing things for me in a certain way. But now I want to free you. I want to create something different and something new with you. Forgive me for judging you, for not doing things the way I expect them. That is how to have that release conversation with somebody who you have been setting expectations to, whether it's your mother, whether it's your father, whether it's your husband, whether it's your partner, your boyfriend, whoever. That is how I think about empathizing, sitting. Oh, I don't know whose mic is on. Then the next thing is we need to have social skills. So social skills, again, it's about, we learned about understanding ourselves and understanding others. So understanding ourselves and others' emotions. So you need to empathize to understand others' emotions. We talked about. Now, once you do that, you need to learn how to respond to people. So you need social skills. You know, you need to be able to apply the behavior that is not going to be detrimental to that relationship. So we need social skills. We need to know how to communicate, how to engage with people, how to bring people on board by empathizing and by all these things, self-awareness, empathizing, and then we're having the social skills. So that's our behaviors. How are we behaving around people? You know, it also depends. How you behave is also going to determine if people get you into their circle or not. And the climate that we're living in and where we are heading to in life generally, even in career, even in business, your social skills are going to matter so much, because no one wants to be around somebody who's constantly zigzagging in their emotions. No one wants to be around someone who's not emotionally aware and is just constantly loosely saying things. I've been in interviews and and again, Pastor Ann touched on this. She touched on character, which is also attached to social skills. You know, I've been in certain interview panels where people have said, "Oh yeah, but her character, we heard something about this person's character." The person was really good at the interview, but they will look at the character. The character. What is your character? What are your social skills? How do you make people feel when they're around you? Do they feel good, or do they feel like, oh my goodness, here she comes again, I better run, or I better give an excuse and say, oh my God, I'm going somewhere, or actually I had a meeting. Why? Because you don't have the right social skills. You don't know how to interact with people. Or you're always in a meeting, you're the one who knows it all. Hey, you're the one who knows everything. You're not waiting to hear what others are saying. No, it's you who knows. You've arrived. What you say goes. You're the one who knows everything. We're living in a place and in an era and in a climate where we need diversity of thought. We need diversity of thought, meaning you need to hear from the people who are around you. We're living in a climate and in a culture where we need to co-produce and collaborate. We need to collaborate in our homes. So when you're talking about money in your home, rather than I know exactly what we need to buy, I know exactly how we need to run the house. No, sit with your child, sit with your husband, sit with everybody in the house and talk together. How shall we do this? This is the amount of money we have. We've got £100 and now we need to buy a new chair. Where are we going to go? Can we afford to? Do we buy one? Do we wait for later? What do we do? Collaborate. Social skills, it starts in the home. And then when you go out, even when you're managing a team, collaborate. You'll go nowhere by just being the one who knows it all. Have you come across those people? They are there, they know it all. Ask me, I know it all. I'm the one who knows this. No, you don't know. You don't know it all. Nobody knows it all in this world. Nobody knows everything. I'm here. I'm talking to you now. I don't know it all. I need to listen to all you women who are here. I told you I was listening to Pastor Ann. I was taking notes. I was like, oh my goodness, yeah. Oh yeah. I was taking notes as she was speaking. I don't know it all. I've learned something for myself today. I don't know it all. We need to collaborate. While we're collaborating, we're having the social skills. What are social skills? How to invite others in, how to get others on board to create the masterpiece of whatever you're trying to create. In business, how do I get the right people in to collaborate? Because even when you get people in, you need the people to understand your vision. You need people to understand where you're going in business. You need people to understand where, because when people understand your vision, when you connect with people and have those good social skills, they're going to birth the vision for you. They'll go the extra mile for you. Why? Because you've got good social skills. So social skills equal good emotional intelligence. We need it, ladies. And then lastly, the last one is really around motivation. How can we ever do anything or get anything or go anywhere if we're sleeping 24/7? If we don't have a plan for our day? Again, it was talked about earlier by Pastor Ann. Need goals, you need a plan. And when you have a plan, then you're motivated to do something. But if you're somebody who's just there, motivation has got to be your biggest influence. You've got to be motivated. You've got to be a self-starter. You can't wait for somebody to say, okay, let's go, to hold your hand and let's go. Those people are gone now. People no longer have time to be pushing other people. And anything that you find yourself doing that you're needing someone to push you to do it, don't do it, because really, for you to actually make an impact in doing something, you have to want to do it. It's almost like when people come to me for therapy. Yes, I could tell, there's two angles that I could take. I could take the angle of, oh yeah, they're coming to therapy. Oh yeah. If they're not motivated, we'll just sit for an hour. We'll talk about whatever they want to talk about and we end the call. And they pay me and I'm okay. But if I turn around and I don't do that. But what I turn around and do and say to people is, if you're not motivated to change, don't bother calling me. Don't contact me. Don't come for therapy with me, because we need outputs. We need deliverables. You've come to me with a problem, with an issue. We need to walk the journey together so we see the change, we see the output. If you're not going to apply the things that we talk about and the things you need to apply in between the therapy sessions, because therapy involves homework, it involves tasks in between. If you're not going to do the tasks in between, do not come to therapy. We will disconnect. So at the very beginning of therapy, we do what's called the contract. We do what you will turn up to sessions, you will engage in sessions, you will do the work in between the sessions, and you will come back to the next session. And we'll have the next session. If you come back to the next session and you've not done the in-between work, then we are not going to go ahead with the next session, because you need to be motivated to change. And for me, the life I live is, the things I do in my life are to make an impact. I don't do things for the sake of doing them. I do it to make an impact. So if you're not ready to make an impact in your own life, I'm also not ready to be there to kind of waste my hour. If waste your hour, I'm not wasting me. Yes, you'll pay me, but it's me. I'm not doing anything for you because you're not engaged. Remember, I said collaboration. We're doing this together. So why am I saying this, ladies? I'm saying we need to be motivated. Today, motivate yourself. Whenever I thought about going to exercise, I used to think, hey, jogging. One, I need to find a really good sports bra. Ladies, how we're running around with our, One, I'm thinking, where am I going to get a good sports bra to be even jogging? Then I think, oh my God, jogging is such an effort. Oh, I'm not going to do it. But then I had to motivate myself to start somewhere. So I started walking for 10 minutes because I had COVID and almost lost my life. So this is the thing that motivated me, actually pushed me to actually make a start. So I started to walk. I started to walk 10 minutes a day, then 20 minutes. Now I told you I'm jogging for 2 hours. But I started somewhere. So today, ladies, my challenge to you is, what is that business idea that you have? What is that job that you're seeing every day? That people are talking to you, they're saying, oh, there's a job here, sister so-and-so, this one, you could do this job. What is that job that is out there? That you're saying, oh no, I'll apply for it tomorrow. No, me, I can't, no, I could never do. Why are you waiting? You live this life once. And there's your maker looking at you saying, oh my goodness, look at all these things I put in her. I put this in her. I put her to influence and help those orphans. I put her to help those young girls. I put her there to go and help these men there who are suffering here. I put her on this planet so she could make an impact here and show people how to make their faces, women how to do their hair. You see me, I need to retouch my hair. I need all you ladies who do hair in this, I need her to know how to really be artistic and do women's hair and do women's makeup, and you're there sitting, folding your arms in your house, waiting for somebody to come and say, listen, sister, here, thus says the Lord, or thus says the Queen, you need to get up and start doing it. Nobody's going to come and do that. You need to be motivated. So my challenge to you ladies is, the world needs you. If we are going to be women of influence, if we are going to take up positions, if we are going to make an impact, don't think about, oh no, my area is too small. Whatever your area is, motivate yourself to start. Never did I think, I started jogging in October of last year. Never did I think that today, I started walking, in October of last year. Never did I think that I'll be jogging in March of 2021. Never ever imagined myself, but I'm doing it. But I had to start somewhere. Why am I giving you that example? Because I'm trying to say to you, start. Don't be one who sleeps 24 hours being on Facebook, looking at nonsense on Facebook, who's going out with who's dating who's doing what. If you're going on Facebook, look to messages which are empowering you to be better. Be selfish with your time. Be selfish about what you look at. Be selfish about what you are listening to. Oh, busy. Oh, do you hear? Oh my God. Oh, she's dating so and so. How is that connected to your life? Be selfish with what you do with yourself and what you do with your life and what you invest in, what you give airtime to, who you talk to, who is around you. I used to think, I told you that I'm a lone parent, and I've been a lone parent for 15 years. There were times, yes, I'm not saying that, oh, please, I'm not anti-marriage or anything like that. One day, my Boaz will land from somewhere. He's somewhere, he will land. But what I'm saying is, we need to be women who understand that we are complete. We are made complete. And we've got it within us to go out there and really make an impact. But we need to start by motivating ourselves. But we also need to start with internal work, releasing those people we are holding those grudges, to say, oh, sister so-and-so, I'll never, ever release her because she did this to me, she did that to me. Release those people. You can never be free to be the full expression of the woman you were created to be if you're still holding on to those people and holding on to those things. Oh, he did this to me. You need to release them. But it starts with addressing the emotional wounds which are inside, and then having the conversation with that person to say, my sister, I was expecting you. I was expecting this expectation. Please release me. I want to have a new relationship, a different relationship with you. That's where it starts. And so I'm going to end in about the next 2 minutes. And I want to end off with just saying, ladies, let's exercise and let's show live in a way that demonstrates the full expression of who we are. Emotional intelligence is key and pivotal to everything we do. Our homes, our careers, our businesses, it's emotional intelligence across it all. Be self-aware, number one. Know who you are, know your beliefs, your thought system. Number two, learn how to self-regulate. Where do I respond? Where do I not? Which battle do I fight? Which one do I not? Learn how to empathize. Sit in somebody else's shoe. Don't be the person who knows it all. Sit in somebody's shoes as they are talking to you. Listen. Sit in their shoes, empathize. And sometimes with the men who are in our house, especially our sons, they will not talk exactly what they're feeling or what they are going through, but let's just listen. The time that they do, say, let's listen and be non-judgmental. We don't need to judge anything they say. Let's just listen. Let's not also place unrealistic expectations, the expectations we think. Then number four, our social skills. Learn how to collaborate, integrate, and work with people, because we all need people. No one is an island. We need people. Social skills. And then the last one is motivation. Come on, ladies, get up, choose to challenge, do something different. Be you, be unique, be beautiful, be magnificent, be champion, take dominion. That's what you were created to do. Let's go, ladies, and let's do this. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to stop there. It's 1:45. I was given 45 minutes. Thank you very much for listening to me. Bye-bye.
Woo.
Wow, wow,
Wow.
wow.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Powerful.
Ethyl. Oh my
Powerful.
God. Oh
Thank
my
you.
God. I felt like
Powerful.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
thank you so very much.